Syracuse, another team that is a possible bubbler. They just seem to love being on the double year in and year out, Dom.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way the Syracuse program should be where it's at right now. They're not really recruiting like they used to. They still get the classic, Jim Boeheim long guy recruits that can play the 2-3 zone, that works sometimes, and then other times it just gets absolutely crushed. They only got one 4-star recruit this time, and they're really returning everyone but Elijah Hughes. Buddy Boeheim, he's a junior now, so he played well for Syracuse last year. Is he going to stay for his senior year, and how much longer is Jim Boeheim going to be at Syracuse? I don't think they return to the tournament once again. I think they're going to be on that bubble right again. Last year they were kind of off the bubble. As a matter of fact, they went 10-10 in ACC play, 18-14. It's not going to get you in the tournament this year. You got to find a way to be above 500 in conference play, and then pick up a couple of non-conference wins. I don't see it. There'll be another team that's going to fight in every single game. That's going to be close in almost every single game, but they're not where they once were in the Big East. And speaking of which, Big East podcast, go take a listen to it. It was great. We love the Big East on the Bonanza. But Syracuse, man, it's going to be interesting to see where this program goes, because they're always going to be able to recruit, because you want to get guys to play in the Carrier Dome, because the Carrier Dome's awesome. But is this program going to be able to bounce back and make it back to being a top seed? I don't think they do that in the near future.
Yeah, Syracuse, their team that I think needs a little more variability on offense than last year. They sort of relied on jump shots a little too often. They're going to have to find a way to get down low and just try different things, get a little more variability in the offense. Don't become too predictable is really the phrase I'm looking for there. But they do have some guys, Gerard Griffin, Buddy Boeheim, that can make the offense a good show for any game in the ACC. I think that trio could make this team a possible bubbler. Now, whether they'll get in or not is another story, because obviously with less non-conference games to try and build up the number of wins, we could see some of these powered conferences get less teams in anyway, because 500 in conference play, like you alluded to, is not going to get the job done. And I do think that is going to be an area to where Syracuse needs to finish above 500. A lot of these double teams are going to have to finish above 500 in ACC play to get the job done, especially if it turns out that this conference is as watered down as it was last year. If we don't see an overall step up from the ACC, then yeah, I do think the ACC will have less bids than they had 2 years ago for sure. And perhaps even what we were talking about them getting last year. A lot of different variables there going in. And I think Syracuse will be another of those teams we're talking about to March with at-large resumes and just getting into all of that. Syracuse, middle of the ACC, will they get the job done as far as getting to the NCAA tournament? A little shaky for me, but just know that we could be talking about them a lot going into March.